The internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward. There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right in today's episode. A supply shock is coming. My goodness, we are not ready for what we're about to witness. This is it. This is the video everyone's going to come back to in 6 months, a year from now, and say, damn, he warned all of us. And let me break this down. At this exact moment, XRP is trading at $2.27. But BitGo, backed by Goldman Sachs and billionaire Mike Novogratz, just partnered with Vivo Power to initiate $100 million worth of XRP. They're going to acquire it for their treasury strategy. This is not derivatives where XRP is being utilized. This is not payments. This is not futures. This is not options. This is real physical on-chain XRP being bought and taken out of circulation. And we're only talking about one entity here.
There's, relatively speaking, fixed supply, and you have increasing demand. And when endowments and institutions, Joey and I sat in a meeting not that long ago with, some of the largest institutional money in the world trying to get smart about crypto. They owned zero on that day. I don't know if they do today. But as they enter the market, you have fixed supply, increasing demand. You don't have to go to MIT to know what's going to happen.
Right now, that's about 45 million XRP that will be taken out of the 99 billion that's out there. Okay, circulating, give or take, just under 60 billion XRP. That's going to be locked and removed from the public supply. But here's where things get insane. This is only their initial. Do you see this? Facilitates is initial 100 million XRP. Their initial. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. You need to understand that treasury strategies are long-term. And when institutions commit to an asset like this, they're not going to flip it for a $3 turnaround. They're betting on a multi-year upside, and they're doing it because of utility, not hype. And if you think BitGo is moving solo, you have not been paying attention. There's so much going on behind the scenes. You guys know, if you guys have been in this ecosystem for a while, we can't even connect everything together. Don't forget that BitGo actually partnered up with Crossover, 2 months ago, give or take. And listen to what they said here. Institutions are no longer asking if they should participate in crypto markets, but how they can do so efficiently while maintaining the same security and protections they're used in traditional finance. And that's the final layer before the floodgates open. And guess who else uses crossover markets and their engine? Hidden Road. Hidden Road is the same company that was acquired by Ripple not too long ago. The demand that is coming to XRP isn't coming from us, okay? Please understand that. It's not coming through Reddit threads. It's not coming through your influencers. It's coming from Goldman Sachs-backed firms, billionaire hedge funds, and institutions with billions of dollars and trillions on standby asking one simple question. How do we efficiently deploy our capital into a compliant, scalable infrastructure and actually not minimize the risk? What happens when 10 plus firms start to announce that they're all going to put $100 million into an XRP treasury strategy?
Asked him what they were If you saw Brian Moynihan, the CEO of Bank of America, he was at Davos recently, in an interview. They asked him about crypto, and he said, the minute we're allowed to be in crypto, we will be there. We will be there in payments. That's their number one focus. So he's ready to go. Same with BNY Mellon. BNY Mellon, I saw the head of their ETF business recently. I asked him what they were doing on custody, and he said, the minute we're allowed to do custody without getting in trouble with the bank regulator, we're already ready. We have it all programmed. We're ready to go.
You know that's going to happen. This is a race against time. But the thing is, we've said this many times, retail is already done. If you're just getting into crypto right now, you better be coming in with a lot of capital. But it's pretty much done. Retail has run out of money. Okay? Retail has capped this market. And now we're going to see the floodgates by pretty much individuals with blank checks enter this market. So even if you have 10 firms come out with a $100 million treasury strategy, and $100 million is nothing, that's $1 billion in XRP physically acquired. Boom. Do the math. Do you really think XRP is going to stay at $2 or even $10? We're not even talking about the utility aspect of this token, right? We're talking massive supply shocks at scale. Because these entities don't sell once they buy. They actually vault it up. They build, and they're going to run operations on chain and collide it with TradFi and DeFi. This isn't about price anymore. It's about removing XRP from circulation so it could support a multi-trillion-dollar financial plumbing. Wow, I mean, we are on the cusp of this. I could see everybody, or I could just see the atmosphere. I could feel the vibe that people are just sick and tired of these markets. And all I could say is being in this market for 8 years and doing what I have been doing, this all should excite you. Remember, the longer it takes, the better for us. Not just because we're accumulating more, but it's going to be done right. And the floodgates are actually, I don't think you guys understand when we say the floodgates are going to open and it's going to go crazy.
I want to proactively comment on something. One of the things I say inside the company is, I'm not focused on the price of XRP over 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months. I'm focused on the price of XRP over 3 years and 5 years. I have no qualms saying definitively, if we continue to drive the success we're driving, we're going to drive a massive amount of demand for XRP because we're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. These payment flows are obviously very, very large. And to the extent we continue to drive success of signing up more banks, introducing them to how we can solve not just a connectivity question with XCurrent, but a liquidity problem, a multi-trillion-dollar problem around liquidity called XRapid, I'm very confident about that longer arc of time.
And when we talk about having, wealth syndrome, just like, I don't know how some of you guys will handle what's going to happen, right? Remember, $3 to $5 trillion in stable coins we're heading towards. Tokenized assets, we're targeting 30 trillion. And you need real-time liquidity to move any of it. Guess what fills the gap? XRP. And once Ripple flips the switch and all of this comes unraveled for the public to see, it's over. You will either be sitting on life-changing wealth or sitting on the sidelines telling people, yeah, I used to own some XRP and I sold it at $4, $5, $6, $7, hoping to buy back in cheaper. But now you know better. This is not a theory. This is the blueprint being executed in front of your face. And XRP is pretty much being positioned and it's being locked up and it's going to get scaled by the most powerful forces in the global financial system.
We continue to drive the success we're driving. We're going to drive a massive amount of demand for XRP because we're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem.
And so when people ask me the question, why did you join the board of Ripple? I joined the board of Ripple because XRP serves a purpose.
And we're just getting started and we are at ground zero. And every single one of you guys that came to this far into this video, true OGs, pioneers, you guys are all going to die one day. I'm going to die one day. But the best part about it is we were here to build this ecosystem and educate ourselves and educate the individuals around us. Think about it. Like, if you really think about it, it's we're building this. We're here going against each other. We got the Bitcoin individuals, the XRP individuals saying we're better. We're building this market at $2 trillion. And I'm telling you, this is going to go to 50 trillion, 100 trillion. It is going to outlive us, right? And it's so crazy that we are the individuals. Like, but imagine like back in like the 1950s or whatever, okay? And those individuals, let's say they were building something and they're like, oh, can you imagine so many people are going to be utilizing this, but like we're the ones that kind of built this infrastructure and we're going to like all disappear one day. You know, it's crazy, guys. I mean, I don't know. I just don't, for the people that don't really understand how big this is and how monumental this is, it frustrates me. That's why I get, you know, agitated in some of my videos, because it blows my mind that people actually don't understand, first of all, like a blessing this is to be a part of, and let alone not be excited every day waking up knowing you are like the infant creating this thing. It's absolutely amazing. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. I kind of rambled off there, but words can't describe what we're about to witness. And the best part is, like, you have these, you know, like Eric Trump and these guys talking about crypto, like they know what they're talking about. They don't know anything. These guys don't know anything about crypto. I'll tell you that right now. They don't know jack shit. So with that being said, we'll be back with another video.
We continue to drive the success we're driving. We're going to drive a massive amount of demand for XRP because we're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem.
But I think the idea of buying and holding forever and not trying to make adjustments requires that you've gotten it right in the first place. That you can only hold tight if you've bought right, if you will. And that is to say, have an asset allocation that has something to do with how many years you have to accumulate money, how much resources you have at stake, how much income you need, and how much courage you have to ride out the peregrinations of the market.
They told us dream small, but we had the stars in mind. While they chased hype, we studied time. In the noise we found the signal. Brad knew just what to do. Now XRP hums like jazz, running smooth and true. Money's changing, systems bend, ripple flow into the end. Truth is quiet, bold and deep. We salute the ones who lose no sleep. Salute to the minds that built this chain. Salute, salute, through the trials, through the pain. Salute, salute, to the calm, to the wise. Salute, 100 in our eyes. Bitcoin maxis yell on stage, stuck in loops they call belief, while XRPL just clears the way. No delay, no grief. They hoard coins like dusty gold, but we got utility in every fold. The future ain't loud, it's steady breathing. Real ones know what's worth believing. It ain't hype, it's code and soul. We salute the ones who see the whole. Salute to the builders, to the flow. Salute, salute, where the real ones choose to go. Salute, salute, to the heart, to the plan. Salute, XRP will lead the land. Value don't lie, and truth don't shake. Let the whole world break, we remake. Strategic reserve, written in stars. XRP gonna take us far. So here's to the signal, clear and bright. To the dreamers who held on tight. No matter the storm, no matter the fight. Salute, we rise. with the light.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.